Guys, go to hardafseltzer.com. Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros College Football Week 2 Prediction Show, kids. Brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your first deposits all the way up to $1,000. D'Anthony, I got my ass handed to me last week by MyBookie. My God, man, I went all in on LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had a shot. And I technically still do, but we'll see, man. They looked rough. Their best edge rusher was out of the game, so that certainly plays a role. But we were at that game, and it wasn't just that one position. Florida State, more than anything else they did, they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, the entire game, for the entire game.
They sure did.
You don't win like that.
No. and look, if you're Florida State, you probably left another 3 touchdowns out there just by all the drops and the penalties and all that shit. Like, it could have been way worse, shockingly. And I have no problem with them jumping up in the rankings to 4, as they knocked out Ohio State out of that down to 5 over there. They fell from 3 to 5. Zero problem with that whatsoever. It was a pretty dominant win, and it was really shocking. And I'm going to be honest, it fucking spooked me for this week.
This week?
Yes. I had a different opinion going into this week about Texas versus Alabama, which we will be at on Saturday, and we'll get to in a moment here. But, man, that week really fucking shocked me. In the meantime here, we'll start off with what we won and lost last week. Before we get to our picks this week, I want to give a shout out to everybody who came to the UCF game, the Miami game, the LSU FSU game, and everybody met us at all the tailgates and all that fun stuff. Great time at your school, Delco. UCF is legit. If they can get a football stadium in there, you guys will be good to go. It's let's face it, there's Texas high schools that have nicer stadiums than that.
It's the bounce house, baby.
It's all metal bleachers.
I know. It's by design. You didn't like when all the phones went up, and then you also got to see a SpaceX launch.
I love all of it. So, like, I think, in all sincerity, I think all you guys are missing is a stadium. Your campus rocks. The fucking Memory Mall rocks. The tailgating rocks. The bars and restaurants that are right around the stadium rock. You have all the components there, and you have the alumni to get the money in there, but you can't bring a college recruit in to that stadium, and then they look around and they're like, well, shit, this looks like my high school stadium in
Well,
Texas.
the trick is to get, to get Elon Musk to care about American football, right? Because half of his SpaceX staff comes from UCF, just like half of NASA used to come from UCF, right?
I mean, they stopped the game for the SpaceX launch.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was like, what? Wait, what? I thought
it was
a joke.
Delco can speak more to this because he went there, but fucking, like, seriously, 40% or something of the employees of NASA that work in Florida there come from UCF, all their engineers and shit.
Did anyone see the rocket first?
No.
Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, yeah, we saw it.
We saw the launch. It happened, the third quarter, right over the stadium?
We were all standing together. I did not see a rocket.
Oh, everybody did. I've got pictures of it on my phone.
It was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's that little...
Again, I was there.
You're saying you saw a fireball?
I'm saying I didn't see anything.
Oh, yeah.
That's
you
just
are
drugs.
retarded.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were too low, right? I went back a little higher with my friends in the fourth quarter, and we saw. Yeah, you could.
No,
clearly
I've
see
got footage of it. Shit, I could send it to Bob. Here, hang on.
You have footage of maybe the big screen that showed it.
I'm gonna send this to Rob. No, I took
No,
footage
I
with
saw it in the
my
sky.
phone. So did I. Bob, I'm gonna text this to you right now. Pop this on screen because it was rad and it was a full moon. It looks like a fucking movie.
Didn't
like,
happen.
It was awesome.
Don't believe it.
Yes, Bob will put it on TV. I videoed it because I couldn't believe what was
Also,
going
to
on.
go back to your comment about the stadium, once it's rocking against it was Kent State, but whatever. Desmond Ritter has been on record saying the loudest stadium he's played in was the UCF game. They lost.
It is loud, but you've like what they do with all these recruits is they take you in for one game, you get to see it, and you're like, holy shit, this is unbelievable, and I'm so overwhelmed that I have to go to school here.
Do you think they take them to the Harry Potter rides?
I would
At
if I
Universal?
were them because we were there too, and that was impressive. I liked all of your stuff, man. It was a blast. Pat's Liquor on campus that lived up to the hype.
That
Here it is.
The Memory Mall area, Miracle, whatever the fuck it's called, is dope.
all of it. I loved it.
They should put a new stadium in.
What a
it's right
fun
there.
place to go to school. So here, this was from my phone. Back that up, Bob, real quick.
Oh, it's already gone.
So that's there it is.
Now you can see it.
Look at that.
You can see the tail. You can
Plain
see
as
it
day.
disappear into the troposphere at some point.
Plain as day. Everybody turned around. We're all having a good time. Middle of the game. I was like,
how funny would it
fucking
have
A.
been if it like turned around and started coming towards the stadium?
Or if it exploded all over the stadium and then we just had like debris everywhere and
I
like it,
believe that was a manned one, wasn't it?
I don't know that you can say manned anymore. You have
can't
to say
either.
personed.
person, yeah.
It was a personed flight.
We don't do that, Bob.
So you're on notice.
Yeah, you're on notice, Bob. Respect
fair.
it. Respect it. But yeah, the atmosphere was a blast and it was fun. University of Miami, no, I don't get that at all. You're playing in an NFL stadium that is empty, that is nowhere near your campus. I don't see how they come back, and I'm being
They'll never be back.
totally dead serious about it. It is not. It has nothing to do with college at all.
And it didn't when they were big the first time.
Yeah, at least
or the second time.
our stadium's on campus.
It
right?
is. And all you guys need to do is just swap it out. Like, you keep the same area, everything. Just swap it out for nicer seats and all that other stuff, and you're good. Just make it feel as big as the campus and the atmosphere is, and you guys will be fine. With Miami, I don't have any hope for that. Again, you're taking recruits there and driving them, a half hour away in traffic over the bridge, and then you go to this stadium that is half empty there. Now, we had fun because of all the listeners we were with, and it was fun for us. But tickets were $40, and we were on like the 20-yard line, and it was fun because we were with all the listeners and everything else. I don't know how that university comes back and how you take kids from the campus to the game and get them excited to go to that school. I really don't. And I'm being totally dead serious when I say that.
I think any school that doesn't play on their campus is at a huge disadvantage. UCLA, Miami.
I agree. Dude,
USC.
UCLA is an
That
hour
might-
and 20 minutes away.
That might be the worst too,
stadium.
because it's not exactly in the nicest neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. USC's in Compton.
Yeah, well,
Dude,
but people respect it.
you respect it because of Dr. Dre.
People respect USC, the stadium and shit.
Boy,
I don't know. You don't hear about a lot of stuff going down there. Well, it's probably just all the gangs. They're like, don't fuck this up for us.
Well, when you go there, because we used to go there when I lived in LA, because it was Leinart and those guys, Reggie Bush, and they had great teams.
Leinart.
Yeah, whatever. They had gates outside with like the pointy tips and everything, and they would lock the gates when the game started, and you were like, oh shit, so your car's gonna get stolen?
Yeah.
I mean, it was fucked, but yeah, Miami, I don't know how you do it. I'm sorry. I don't know how you come back from that. LSU, your season is over after week 1. I'm already going to say you're not coming back from that. There's no way they win out after that performance. It was listless, uninspired. They're done. We'll recap last week's wins and losses. USC, we had. San Jose State, big shock. We all took the over in that. It was great. We made all the money. Notre Dame, Navy, great. Picked all that. Got the under. Notre Dame by 20.5. We made all the money. That was a blast. Utah. Got the Utah game right with a backup quarterback. Florida, holy shit, looked just as bad as LSU last week. They are all done for the season, and I don't know where that program goes after this, to be honest with you. It's been, 15 years since Urban Meyer walked out of that door, and he ain't walking back in, friend. Unless you can get him back, I don't know how that school comes back here at this point. Georgia, 48-7 against UT Martin. There was no spread on that. None of this was a big shock. I'm looking at the stats now, as we didn't care about this game whatsoever. 294 and a touchdown for Carson Beck. Sure. You're not going to find out who they are until they play Tennessee because they got a weak schedule.
Yeah.
Michigan 30-3. Nah.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, underwhelming. Ohio State 23-3, even more underwhelming. Told you about the issues before the season, kids. The quarterback makes a difference. Ohio State does not have one. Now, Ryan Day said he's going to play the second string guy even more this game. Play him the whole fucking game at this point because Kyle McCord ain't that dude. He looks like shit.
You cannot have Marvin Harrison Jr. get 2 receptions.
I disagree, though. I think it's the offensive line. I think there's real issues on that line.
You could play 500, the game 500, like we played when we were children, with Marvin Harrison and Emeka Egbuka, and it wouldn't matter because that's how great they are.
I don't know. What is 500?
500, and you just throw the ball straight up in the air, and if you catch it, you get 500.
Has anybody ever heard of this?
Yeah.
No, I was born in the 20th century.
No. This is a game we played in Philly. Like,
Still.
you get to 500, but it'd be like you catch this, you get 100.
Yep.
You get this, it's 200.
This sounds like poor people stuff.
It is,
bankrupt.
and that's by the way, that's exactly why I made this point. Even a poor person quarterback could just throw the fucking ball in the air to Marvin Harrison. You're good. 2 receptions for 18 yards to the best wide receiver I've seen in the last 15 years in college. Fuck off with that shit.
Yeah, that's not great.
Well, he went to St. Joe's Prep, so he's probably not poor.
I don't care. Then he sucks at just being a quarterback. And I listened to Kirk Herbstreit on
Running for his
Pat
life.
McAfee yesterday, by the way. And he was like, Ohio State fans are irrational and they want the quarterbacks to be great. No, this kid's been there for 3 fucking years at this point. It's not a true freshman. He's been there for 3 years. He's been in this system. Marvin Harrison was his wide receiver in high school, and he can't fucking throw to him in a real goddamn game against Indiana, which some might even say is a real team. It's not. Ohio State's in trouble. This year's college football, though, is going to be really fucking interesting because there is no true powerhouse. Alabama, 56-7. We'll find out if they're real on Saturday. USC, 66-14. Caleb Williams, 5 touchdowns. Probably still in the lead for Heisman if you're even doing that this early. Not sure that you are.
No, he's not.
We'll get to him.
But can we go back
We'll get to
Ohio
Mr.
State?
Sanders. Sure.
Because they couldn't run the ball either. Like
They didn't do
57
anything.
They couldn't do anything. I'm telling you, the
But
offensive line is an issue.
when you can't pass, you can't run either. And when you know that you can't pass, stack the box and just go against the run. And that's what I'm going to tell Texas to do this exact weekend because I got a quarterback that can't throw at Alabama. Stack the fucking box, force that kid to throw, and we'll see what happens. Penn State against West Virginia. Called that one. Won all the money on that.
Yeah, Lar looks good.
Yeah, that kid looks legit, dude.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he is.
The defense was a little shaky, to be honest.
But the West Virginia scored a garbage touchdown in the fourth quarter and then they went for 2. It should have been 38-7 in that game. I'll allow it. They look great. And that Alar kid is fucking dope, dude. Penn State is for real this year. Washington beat the shit out of Boise. Was not
This
expecting
is your
that.
Heisman frontrunner.
That's Penix.
Penix is rising, dude. 450 and 5 touchdowns in this game. I wasn't thinking about Penix, though. I was thinking about the Sanders kid that they're giving all the shine to. We'll get to him. Texas against Rice. Talk about a bad offensive line. That's an issue going into Alabama. Rice was getting to Ewers all day long. He only had 260 in this game, and they didn't really turn it on until the third quarter there against Rice. I'm not sure how this shakes out at Bama now. I was calling Texas a few weeks ago, and I probably should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Quinn. I don't think Quinn Ewers is that good. Low 60s completion percentage.
Yep.
Not his fault, though. He's running for his life against Rice.
I know. They don't have an offensive line, so we'll see. Who knows? Tennessee absolutely fucking rolled Virginia 49-13.
Virginia, by the way, a home dog this week to James Madison.
Yep.
Gross.
6-point dog.
Gross. Is Lizzo going to help out James Madison this weekend? Tennessee State against Notre Dame. This game doesn't really count. 56-3. It's a whole bag of whatever there. Notre Dame will play Ohio State here in 2 weeks. We'll find out who both of those teams are then. Portland State against Oregon. 81 points in this goddamn game. 81. Holy shit.
The duck was so tired.
He was exhausted.
He had over 500 push-ups.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Kansas State blanked Missouri or Southeast Missouri. Who cares? It's 45-0 there. Next up, Colorado TCU. Now, took Colorado plus the points, and it was fun. Did I think they would win outright? No.
I don't know. Kind of had a feeling they might be able to chip this one away. TCU is just a chronic underperformer.
Where do you go with this program? The linebacker came out in the presser afterwards and said, we're the laughing stock of the nation. Because not only do you have that, 70-7 loss or 65-7?
65-7. The worst bowl loss in the history of college football, which, it should be noted, started 4 years after the Civil War ended.
Right. And then you have Deion Sanders here transferring, coming in, 510 yards passing and 4 TDs. That might be your Heisman favorite right now against a number 17 TCU.
He's not. I mean, maybe he can win the Week 1 Heisman, but he's not keeping it up.
For now, it's a fun story though. Deion's back. Colorado's ranked. Wow, dude, I couldn't believe this. We even stopped a fucking podcast, I think, in shock over the weekend watching this. It was like, holy shit, are they gonna fucking win this game?
They did.
They did.
Now they got Nebraska at home.
Yep. They're gonna win that one too.
Probably.
I think they're gonna beat Nebraska. They're gonna be 3-0 after beating Colorado State. They're gonna be ranked like
They're going to have that big old hype train behind them.
they're gonna be ranked top 15, maybe something like that. And then Oregon is gonna absolutely rip their spines out of their assholes.
It's going to be hard for them to keep up defensively with Oregon. I mean, it really is. Now, who fucking knows, right?
But do you just try to go 65-60? Like
That's the only.
That's the only thing you could
That's
do.
the only thing you can do.
You gotta go no huddle that entire game, to be honest. And frankly, that DB that's playing both ways, I might use him sparingly on defense.
Travis Hunter?
Yeah, because he's not going to take 140 fucking snaps a game for a lot of games.
He's better on defense than he is offense.
No, he is. But
He was their
you're gonna
leading
need his
receiver.
offense too. You're gonna need all of it.
He
so.
can't be playing 130 snaps
Nah,
every
fuck
week.
no.
They're gonna have to figure it out there. It's wild, but it's fun to watch. I mean, Colorado is must-see TV right now.
And Sanders, to his credit, made no fucking mistakes. Easy throws, threw a good deep ball. There was a couple passes that the receivers dropped.
510 yards, dude, against TCU, who just played for the national championship.
I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over much, even in his whatever JUCO or whatever the fuck
the
that was.
HBCU, yeah. Buffalo against Wisconsin, got that one right. All good there. Oklahoma, Arkansas State, 73-0. Who really cares? It's an FCS school, I think. Is Arkansas State FCS? So we had this debate last week.
They're FBS.
Gross. Next up was North Carolina, South Carolina. Caught the tail end of this. I was surprised that I lost this game, actually. I thought Spencer Rattler and those guys had it figured out. They definitely don't.
You cannot ever put Spencer Rattler and figured out in the same.
Well,
sentence.
He had
To be
350.
fair-
He had 350 yards passing.
He actually played pretty well. I
He
watched
did.
Yeah,
that
but
game.
not when it mattered. They were 4 for 14 on third down.
He got sacked 9
North
times.
Carolina's edge rushers got to him too much. South Carolina's not going to win a lot of games.
Their
I don't think.
offensive line is
It was bad.
was
horrible.
And conversely, North Carolina, I think, was like 8 for 12 or 8 for 13 on third down. That shit matters, man, to keep drives going. That's why North Carolina looked like shit in the first half.
Yeah.
Second half, they dominated pretty much the entire time.
Defensively, they only gave up a field goal in the second half.
They're more well-rounded than we thought.
Yes, and it's kind of crazy to see. Mercer against Ole Miss.
South Carolina also had -2 rushing yards.
Did they really? Well, their line is awful.
Well, also in college, sacks count as negative rushing yards. So I don't even know how many times he got sacked, but it was a bunch.
Yeah, it was a ton. Ole Miss rolled over Mercer, no shock there. Texas A&M rolled New Mexico, no shock there. Tulane against South Alabama. I had asked for your input on this. You guys love South Alabama. You picked them to win outright.
I picked them to win outright.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got one game. I got a couple games wrong. It happens, But I did pick FSU, and I did pick Duke to cover.
North Carolina had 9.
We all had Duke to cover. I mean,
North
that's-
Carolina had 9 sacks and 16 total tackles for a loss. That's fucking crazy. I think that might be the most I've ever seen in these are supposed to be both good teams,
in
right?
an adult football game. Yeah.
God damn. Anyways.
I mean, yeah. How many plays did they have? They had 16. That's got to be like what, 15%, 20% of your plays go for a loss.
Let's see. There were 39 pass attempts and 31 carries. So, what's that? 70. 70 total plays, and 16 of them went backwards.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
That's like a fifth of your plays.
It's terrible.
22%.
22%. Terrible.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Utah State against Iowa. The fun thing with this one is Iowa has to average 25 points a game for the offensive coordinator to keep his job.
Brian
They had
Ferentz.
24. They had 24. So the count's already on. If you couldn't put up more than 24 points against Utah State, you're not going to keep your
They
job
also
this year,
dropped out of the
friends.
top 25.
Yes, they should have. It was
They
24
won.
to 14. It's Utah State. 24 to 14. Even the defense is supposed to be good. They gave up 14 fucking points to
They're
Utah
not going to
State.
score more this
This is a
week either.
gross team. No need to watch Iowa. That state doesn't exist. LSU, Florida State. Here's what happened to me. All right, because I had these on all the fucking cards. I had them at $500 on this game, all of it, dude. I bought into your bullshit. You guys fucking Brian Kelly'd me to death, Bob.
I know.
You in particular.
Oh, I told you, Jaden
I
Daniels
told you he was a
stinks.
fucking loser. I said
told you
Brian
Jaden Daniels
Kelly
stinks.
But Brian Kelly is a loser. He's a fucking loser.
It's not
And I
on
got
him.
talked into it.
It's not on him. Jaden Daniels, like the reason they were able to be successful at the end of the year last year is because they simplified the fuck out of the offense. They tried to get a little bit more complex, but once that first read's not there, Jaden Daniels can't do anything.
Brian Kelly's a goddamn loser, and he'll never win anything, ever.
I think we should
Coach-
steal it. We should steal his shoes.
Coach O is like 10 times the loser that Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
And
but
even he won.
But no, it
That's
wasn't
the point.
even he.
That's the point.
Any one of us could have won with that LSU team.
Right. The whole
Yeah,
point
but he had
is
to do it. Like, why? Brian Kelly had that talent. He had talent at Notre
he's
Dame.
getting
He didn't
talent.
have anything approaching Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
And he's not, and that talent doesn't go to Notre Dame, that goes to LSU. LSU, even when, this is like the weird thing about LSU. Even when LSU is like infuriatingly mediocre, they're like an 8-9 win team under Les Miles or Coach O or whomever, they are still fucking loaded
Yeah.
with 4 and 5 stars.
Also, LSU this year, all the kids he brought in, freshmen. So it's his first year recruiting. Next year for recruiting for LSU, they're also top 5 in recruiting. He's going to have the team, man.
Well,
Give it-
we'll see,
we said
man.
5 years.
He's a fucking loser.
They got absolutely handled on both sides of the line of scrimmage the entire game, from snap to fucking whistle.
Yep.
The whole time. Like that's the most dominated I've seen a fucking 5th ranked team on the line. That's where you win those games.
And I know it was tied at halftime, but trust me, man, being in that stadium, those fucking calls against Florida State were bullshit. And I have no dog in that fight at all. Those calls against Florida State were dog shit in the first half. Florida State's wide receivers dropped 5 passes in the first half alone. They could have been up by 30 at halftime if they wanted to.
Jordan Travis was weirdly bad in the second quarter.
Yes.
Like, he made some really bad throws. I'm like, what are we doing? And he figured it out.
They
but-
figured it out, and they ended up, housing them like they should have. But this score, I know it was 45 to 24. This could have been 63 if they wanted to. I mean, if they really actually fucking played this game. LSU, your season's done after week 1. It's weird to say, but sorry, you're not coming back from.
they can
this.
actually still make the playoff if they win out.
If they win out,
Because they're on the right side of the fucking
Yeah, if you win the
SEC.
SEC.
Yeah,
I mean, all they have to do. Well, they've got to beat some good teams, but they have to beat Alabama and they have to beat Georgia
I don't think that team beats
in
Alabama's
the
defense.
playoff. Probably not.
Oregon State's against San Jose State's. Congratulations, they won. We're rooting for these
DJ,
guys this
baby.
year.
DJ.
They're-
Getting his revenge.
And then Clemson. My God, man, is this it for Dabo?
It should be. He was a blip, I think, because we were told in 2020, 2021 time period, oh, the defense is reloading. It didn't, right?
No.
It was mediocre. And then the next year it's like, oh, we're bringing in this ukulele kid to play quarterback. He's terrible at everything, right?
Yeah.
He's really bad at quarterback.
He's pretty good at Oregon State.
Yeah, against fucking San Jose State. Get the
We're not
fuck outta
doing
here.
that. We're not fucking doing that.
We're gonna do it. I want to all season. We're gonna do
He
it.
threw for 240 yards against San Jose State, man. I just don't.
He didn't play the whole game.
He threw for what he needed to.
The other guy had 3 passes. Get the fuck out of here.
They ran the ball. They pulled their team. Like, they get up big, you pull your guys.
I understand that,
Same
but
with-
the other
I mean,
guy
like-
had 3 passes. You're getting the ball 80
They're just
fucking times.
running the
dude.
ball. It's like Sam Hartman at with Notre Dame this week. He didn't throw that much.
Yeah, but they were playing a worthless school there. Look, you can live or die on ukulele. Go ahead and throw some money on for Heisman if you want to.
Not going that far.
I'm not either. Nobody is. But this Dabo Swinney sitch, man. Look, you had 2 generational quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. I know Justin Fields was trending.
You had Travis Etienne. You had T. Higgins. I mean,
bunch of
Tyler
dudes.
Boyd.
By the way, like, give him his due. He recruited all those guys and won
Good run.
and won a bunch of.
It was a good run for him.
Like, it's not like it was like he did nothing.
But
it's a good run.
That's the difference between good and great, though, right? Like everybody wanted, just like, oh, if he wins one more, is he in the conference? Like, nope, not even close.
But they just like don't have the dudes anymore.
No.
They're just good, but they're not great.
Yeah, they're getting beat on recruiting really badly.
Klubnik only had 209 yards passing. Like, I thought that guy was going to be good.
Yeah.
Duke's defense was better than I thought, too. I mean, it wasn't just mistakes that Clemson was making. Duke was handling them on the line of scrimmage, too.
Yeah.
They had bigger, better athletes on the line of scrimmage, which is not what you expect to see, right?
It was super weird to watch, man. As it was happening, you were like watching a train wreck that you couldn't turn away from. You're like, this is going to keep happening.
It's like,
all game.
the women and children. And then my instinct is to pour more gasoline on that fire.
Same.
You know
I was like, oh, my God, I can't stop watching this. And then I did. Justin Fields ruined Dabo Swinney. That 6 touchdowns really fucking torqued him, and that's it, dude. So I don't know. If you're a Clemson fan out there, where do you go? You're in the weakest division ever. If you're an FSU fan after this weekend, holy shit. You watch what happened at Clemson, you just won the fucking ACC.
Yeah, but you got North Carolina, too.
Look, FSU is still miles ahead of North Carolina, I think.
We'll see.
But
They
either
don't
way,
play each other.
at least you don't have to worry about
Well, they play
Clemson
each
this
other
year.
They would play each other in the championship.
They'll play each other in the
ACC
championship.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they don't catch each other in the regular season.
No, but if you're a Florida State fan, it was a very, very good weekend for you all the way around. Because you probably just won that conference. We were at the Miami game. It's not like Miami's doing dick this year. Who else is left? North Carolina. That's kind of it, right? UNC?
I don't know.
As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. We need it this week, kids. It was a bounce back week. All right, I fucked us on the LSU. I got Brian Kelly'd and to death. I believed in that fucking worthless turd, that loser. I should have gone with my gut on that one. I've called him a loser for years on this show, and I didn't. I got mind fucked into it. It's my own fault. All right? I'm not blaming anybody but myself.
We told you 5 years, not this year.
Fuck off. You said 2 years.
We said within the next 5 years. So
Pull the fucking tape. You said within 2 years.
We got so much footage. We said within the next 5 years.
2 years.
5. We've
2.
Been on record saying 5 forever.
Never. Brian Kelly's never won anything in his life. He's never even won a high school trophy, for Christ's sakes. He's all done. We're all done with Brian Kelly. And that fake Southern accent. Where was that fucking thing at the press conference afterward? He magically lost that.
Yeah, what is he, Larry the Cable Guy or some shit?
damn
Just
it,
talk the way you fucking talk, dude. Nobody
Fuck
cares.
that guy. Is this going to cause me to drink today already? I mean, I'm pissed off about it. The odds are up. All the odds today are from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros doubles that deposit. I'm going harder than I was last week. I gotta try to win back some cash here. It all went to shit. It all went to Brian Kelly. That's my new word for shit on this college football show. It all went to Brian Kelly. I got to fucking figure it out this week and get back on the goddamn horse. So I'm going to mybookie.com. I'm putting in the promo code Drinkin Bros under a different email account, wink, because that's how you can do it. And double that deposit again. And if you're going to any of the games this weekend, we're going to Alabama, Texas. We're in row row 1 in section MM in that game there. That's where we'll be at. And we will be live from Ramajama across from the stadium at noon, doing a live show at noon with AJ Buckley and Clayne Crawford. That would be a blast. They serve hard AF seltzer there. It'll be all the things. Join us. You can get tickets on drinkinbrostickets.com. Doesn't really matter if you're sitting in the fucking nosebleeds. You're in the game. It's just electric to be inside these goddamn stadiums, and that's why we love doing it. Before we get to the first one here, D'Anthony, I'm going to grab a drink here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to.
Excuse me.
To grab a...
I'm kind of surprised there's a line on this game, to be quite honest. I mean, I guess they're counting on Georgia not keeping starters in to bother running up the score. Which is probably the smart move. I mean, this is a meaningless game. Georgia's already number one. They don't have to prove anything.
They don't have to do anything for the entire season,
Yeah.
this team. And it sucks. I don't know what to say about this. Yes, I'm with you. I'm shocked there's a line. I'm so shocked that I'm drinking right now. Well, that's after 2 on Wednesday. I feel like an adult. I'm good to go. Minus 42, Georgia versus Ball State. Do you bet on this?
No, because I don't think Georgia's gonna really get after it. Why would they?
Do they care?
Well, they care about winning the game.
Now, I know
certainly.
they care about winning the game, but do they even care about anything on the schedule until Tennessee? Because that's the only tough game they have until the SEC championship.
It won't make any difference if they win this game by 30 or 50.
I think at Auburn is going to end up being kind of Auburn might be ranked by the time they play at Auburn.
I hope so. Because
Against Hugh Freeze is looking legit. I think Auburn could end up being a problem. They'll beat them, but
and
they'll
Hard
be
AF Seltzers in every single campus store there. So if you're going by the Hard AF Seltzer model this year, all the teams that we're in are winners this year. So hopefully Auburn becomes one. That would be great.
What you're saying is Hugh Freeze is going to win a title at Auburn within the next 2 to 5 years.
I'd say Hugh Freeze should have a national title within the next 9 days, if I had to guess.
Let's put that bet on the I will take Hugh Freeze winning a national championship before Brian Kelly any day of the week.
I will take
Let's
that
go.
Any day of the
fucking
week.
day. All fucking
That's
day.
so dumb.
No, it is not. It is not. Brian Kelly's a fucking loser.
I agree with that statement.
The loser.
But
Hugh Freeze.
Auburn's not winning a title. The fuck out of here. Tim.
Neither is Brian Kelly, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but LSU is the kind of school that can luck into one like they did in 2019. Auburn is not that kind of school. Bo Jackson is fucking 40 years ago. That shit ain't happening again.
They did it with Cam Newton. Remember that?
That was luck. Gene Chizik won a national title.
Whoa,
I think Gene Shalit could have won with that
Gus
team.
Malzahn
It was
calling
Gus,
the plays.
exactly.
Who's calling
Gus
plays?
Miles, and that is the coach of UCF,
But
friends.
it was Gene Chizik that was the head coach.
He was.
Technically.
Technically. But I got Hugh Freeze over fucking Brian Kelly any goddamn day. With this one, look, if you're a Georgia fan out there, you bet on this. Because, look, 42 versus Ball State, sure. It should be 68-0 in this game through 3 quarters. So if you're a fan of that, go ahead and do it. Oh, shit. The over-under's 52 in this game?
I mean, that's... Yeah. Nah.
Oh, man. Does Georgia beat the over on their own?
They could, because S&P has it as a 51-point game.
That's
by
what
Georgia.
I think. Like, this could be 68-0. This, if you're going to bet anything in this, bet the over. Why not? Georgia scores 52 plus, for sure, probably. Or do they care? That's another thing, is if they care. We'll see. That's the danger betting on these spreads that are high 30s to 40s.
It's a
like,
47-5 game at this number. Minus 42 of 52 points. 47-5.
Yeah.
5 is a weird amount of points for somebody to
safety.
score. So
I might get a safety. Youngstown State against Ohio State is up next. No spread on this, rightfully so.
is Youngstown State Mermans?
No, they're not. They're gangsters. They're mafia. It's a big mafia town.
Well, Youngstown is named after Brigham Young.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And pretty much any state or city named Young anything is named after him.
Youngstown, Ohio is using The Sopranos often, where it's just like, hey, send Jimmy down to Youngstown. A big mafia there.
Is Tressel still there?
So Tressel is
The AD?
he might be the AD, but the interesting part about this is Ohio State is looking for a new AD after the season. Hire Tressel, bring him back. I think it's the right thing to do. Ohio State, if you're an Ohio State fan out there, you're hoping for Devin Brown, and you're hoping for any offense, and we'll see what happens down there. The quarterback stitch is not great. Not that it's going to matter. Even if they, put up 70 on Youngstown State, it's Youngstown State. So what the fuck does it? What does it do? What does it matter? You're not going to find out who this team is until Notre Dame. No spread on this game. Delaware against Penn State. No spread on this either.
Is Delaware?
They're 1-0.
Is that
They're
FCS?
FCS.
They're a decent FCS school, though. They usually kind of compete in the playoffs.
That's
here and
Joe
there.
Flacco's Delaware Mud Hens.
Gross.
Blue Hens.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, no spread on this. Next up, Notre Dame against NC State. This one is shockingly low to me. This is minus 7.5 for Notre Dame against NC State. Are you surprised by that?
Yes, I am
too.
surprised by that.
I am. I'm taking Notre Dame in this game.
Yeah, same.
Same here. What am I missing with NC State?
Well, they played UConn last week.
I know.
And they scored 24 total points. So UConn is going down to D3, right? Or D2 or whatever the fuck it's called, FCS.
FCS, but maybe not because they made a bowl game last year, and they're decent this year.
Well, isn't Moore their coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. The rumor is they want to stay up there. We'll see. But with NC State and with Notre Dame, look, the first 2 weeks you can't judge them on that. Those were shitty teams. This one is kind of a little bit better. They're at least an ACC school, but Hartman has played against these guys, and yes, Notre Dame rolls in this game. I don't think you're going to find out anything about Notre Dame until Ohio State. Utah is up next against Baylor. Baylor lost their opening game here. I said they were not going to be great this year.
They lost a game that they were favored in by 26.5 points.
Sure did. You guys liked Baylor and said they were a pretty good team this year. What happened down there? What am I not aware of that happened at Baylor?
They ran into the buzzsaw that is G.J. Kinney's Texas State Bobcats.
Mm-hmm. Is Texas State even a Division I school?
Yeah, dude, Sunbelt.
Yeah, they are.
Pretty sure I picked them.
I sure didn't. You said Baylor was going to be pretty goddamn good
I mean,
this
we
year.
can run the tapes again. I think I picked them on the show.
No, you definitely did not pick Texas State. No one did, as a matter of fact.
You weren't on that show.
No one.
This is outside the top 25.
Yeah,
show.
outside the top 25, I picked Texas State in the over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll give you some shine if you really did that. Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you picked Texas State over Baylor.
To cover 26.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the over.
Okay.
Well, I'm not giving Utah 8 points. Who's their fucking quarterback this week?
Yeah, is Cam Rising back? What's going to happen with
They
him?
played Florida last week and scored 24 points. Florida is bad. And Baylor is a tougher place to play than wherever the fuck they played last week for sure. Like 8 points too much for this.
Well, Utah played at Utah.
And they only scored 24 points at home against Florida, which is one of the worst Florida teams I think I've ever seen.
This feels like a fucking trap here
Yeah,
at
fuck
8s
that.
where they're like, hey, come in and bet this. Guess what? You trapped me. I'm taking Utah. on
It's
this
probably going to be like a 6-point game. Don't bet this.
It turned so as of yesterday, Cam Rising was cleared for all practice activities, no restrictions. It's just quote unquote how he feels.
With the sun and stars? Like, what is
guess.
what is he looking up at the sun and stars in that one?
He might. There's a decent chance he returns.
Okay.
Good.
Look, I got a Utah on this one. I'll take it -8. Baylor looked like hot garbage last week. I don't know what going home is actually going to do for them.
Just a weird place to play.
It is. It's a weird school in general. I'm not a big fan.
If Utah
of
was going to
Baylor.
Oregon State in this game, I would do the same thing. Just sit it out because I think it's too early in the season.
I think Cam Rising comes back, and I think they win, and I think Utah gets on the horse with Cam Rising this year. We'll see. Next up, Troy, the men of Troy.
This one's actually
against
pretty
Kansas
interesting.
State. It is.
Like K-State's a pretty good team, but Troy's sneaky good. They have a really good fucking running back too.
They fucking put up odd numbers, man. So the first game he had 25 carries for 248 yards. The guy from Troy. Kansas State. Who knows with these teams,
I mean,
right?
that kid had 1,100 yards last year.
I know,
for
dude.
Troy.
It's like, and with Kansas State, you don't really like -16.5 is a lot of fucking points against Troy. Will they care enough? Is the other part about this? Troy tends to keep it close against some of these bigger schools over the years. I'm personally going to avoid this game. I don't really believe in Kansas State. I like Troy's a fun team, but I don't want to sit there and watch this goddamn game at all. So I'm going to avoid this game. Next up, we got Nebraska at Colorado. Colorado -3. Give me the Buffaloes, dude.
I'm a little concerned at how low it is for Colorado.
too.
Considering how much total offense they put up last week and how bad Nebraska looked, and it's at home at Colorado. The -3 for Colorado right here is essentially a home field pick'em. That's concerning to me. I don't know if it's.
I agree. It's
I don't
weird,
know,
right?
I don't know if it's carryover disrespect or something. Frankly, I think a lot of people are hating on Dion, but it's not because he has 75% black players, because everybody has 75% black players, you stupid bitch.
I'm surprised it's not higher, actually. Yeah, I
Well, that's
heard
what he
that comment.
said.
I know, it was dumb.
He went full retard on that one.
was
But yeah,
dumb.
this Vegas putting this at -3, that concerns me quite a bit, to be honest. But I think Colorado has this game.
I'm in. I'm in on the over at 59.5 in this game. I know I always talk about this on the show, and I'm going to hammer this home again. You can tell how much a fucking crowd is going to care about the game based on the ticket prices. So I look at drinkinbrostickets.com. The cheapest ticket in the stadium here is $291. That is for the last row in the stadium for a Colorado Buffaloes game. There isn't an NFL game week 1 where the last row in the stadium is $291 for a ticket.
Yeah.
That's all the students coming in. That's all the alumni coming in. This place is going to go bug fuck. They're putting this on Fox. This is going to be live on Fox around the nation. If you're trying to raise money, awareness, get all the big recruits, all that other stuff, everybody's going to be watching this game. Colorado, I think, blows them the fuck out. I'm all in on Colorado -3 and the over-under of 59.5.
Okay.
Why do you like Nebraska in this?
So Bill Connolly, S&P, this is the game where it's the biggest difference in the actual line versus what he has. He has Nebraska as an 8-point favorite.
How? How is that possible?
I will say this. Minnesota, not a bad team. Nebraska lost by 3 on the road.
13-10.
Good defense.
They have really good defense.
13-10.
So Colorado played a terrible defense last week. This is the first good defense they're going to play. This is their first offensively. This is their first test of the season.
But here's the difference here. Colorado can throw the goddamn ball, and they're going to the entire game. Minnesota doesn't do that. It's traditionally a running team. They always have been. So
I'm just saying.
I don't think Nebraska's. I think they get blown out. There's too much on the line this week.
This will be a fun game to watch, though. Just to see what happens. This is one of the games I'm definitely going to be tuning
big
into.
rivalry.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not saying Nebraska's going to win. I'm just saying be careful. I wouldn't put the fucking house on.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I
too
agree with
amped.
that.
Everybody's too amped for this, man. That is going to go. Boulder's going to go fucking nuts at this field. I'm all in on Colorado.
Well, the one thing I will say to that point is that Shedeur Sanders doesn't give a fuck about all the noise.
Anything.
Like Dion raised another Dion there.
I love that. I love that kid's presser.
It's kind of like tongue in cheek with him. He's like, "Oh, you were intimidated by shit." It's like, sorry, I'm not allowed to be because my dad's Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
If you come home intimidated, you just have to sleep outside in the doghouse. So, yeah, I'm not worried about him performing under pressure. That's for sure.
Me neither. I love it. It's cool to see Colorado back. If you haven't been to that school, it's fucking fun.
They haven't been good since what, Rashawn Salam or some shit.
30 years ago. But it is a fun fucking school.
It was in the late
Pac-12
90s, right?
No. 2016 they made the Pac-12 championship.
And they made a couple Big 12 championships when I was in school. On and off. But they haven't been like great.
Since the 90s.
Since the 90s.
Yeah, 90s. But it's a fun school, and I'm excited for them, the program, and the fan base there, because it is a blast there. I love going to that school. A couple times that I've been there, it was really fucking fun. But I'm all in on both of those. You?
I'll take Colorado -3. I'm not going to take the over.
Okay.
Because there's a chance Nebraska it's Matt Rule, right? There's game planning for this kind of offense. Give them a different look. Maybe he's able to slow them down. They get off schedule. I can see that happening.
Okay.
But I think Colorado's better.
All right. Next up, we got Charleston Southern against Clemson. Oh, boy.
There actually should be a spread for this.
The spread is 9.
It should be like probably 30.
Spread
32.
The spread is 9.
There is no spread for this.
There's no
No,
spread. It says tickets as low as $9.
The ticket spread is 9. It's $9. Clemson tickets are now going for $9.
Bro, this is
how the mighty have fallen.
this is a stay at the tailgate game. What are you going inside for?
$9 for a Clemson game that has not happened in years. They are barely hanging in the top 25. I can't believe they're still in the top 25. They're at 25 on the dot. Tickets are $9. This is a suicide hotline team now, man. This is a 1-800 number now, and there's no saving it. I'm sorry, guys, and there's no spread on this. There's no nothing, and we don't really have to talk about it anymore. And I'm almost amped about that. The whole Dabo shit for me for years, it was kind of grating, where I was just like, all right, man, I get through Christ anything is possible and everything else. It isn't apparently. Because you're not winning anymore, so you might want to stay prayed up and go to the Hallow app. But $9 for a Clemson game. That's wild. Next up, we got UNLV against Michigan. This is Michigan minus 36.5. Same thing with Georgia here. I don't know that Michigan cares about this game. I don't know if they cover this many points.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, East Carolina is probably a better team than UNLV, so you could. There's no transitive property in sports, but you could guess that there's a good shot Michigan's going to beat the 36.5. But
why take the risk?
Don't dump a bunch of money on it. I mean, it's not a game you want to watch anyway, so what's the point?
No.
Unless you're a Michigan fan.
Yeah, if you're a Michigan fan, absolutely. Go nuts. And it's the same thing with Georgia. Go nuts. Ole Miss, number 20 against Tulane. This is in New Orleans. This is at Yulman Stadium. Good old Yulman Stadium. This is Ole Miss minus 7. Huh. That seems a little odd to me, that spread. A one-touchdown game?
67 over/under.
They put up 73 last week. You know? I'm a little bit surprised by this.
It's 37-30 game.
I'll buy a half a point. I'll take Ole Miss at minus 6.5 in this one and feel fine about it.
Tulane looked good.
Yeah, Tulane looked pretty good. And they're sneaky little fuckers too.
They are.
Pratt, I think, had like one of the highest QB ratings last week.
They are, but does Lane Kiffin lose the second game of the season to Tulane? I mean, that would just destroy that fan base.
Could.
I mean, Ole Miss is what kind of fan base do you think Ole Miss is? Like
You've been to the games, Bob. They're delusional, just like Cowboys fans, dude.
I know, but they are also like the Cowboys, right?
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like they just shit their pants all the time.
But do they shit their pants week 2 against Tulane?
Maybe
I
it'd
can
be
see them
Kyle
shitting their
Brand.
pants against an Auburn, but not against a Tulane. That would be depressing.
They're the fact that they're a 7-point road favorite against a ranked team that just made a New Year's Six bowl, same coach and everything. I don't like that.
It's weird, isn't it?
I like a home dog.
It's weird. I'm still going to go with it. I'm going to ride the Lane train and take this 6.5. What are you going to do, D'Anthony?
I'm going to take in the other direction. I'm going to buy a half point and go Tulane plus 7.5.
Ooh, look at you. Look at you, Spice Dog. Man, okay. What if Tulane does it, man? And then Ole Miss is knocked out of the top 25 week 2. You hate to see it for the ladies of Ole Miss, don't you? They've got a special place in my heart, the same with Arizona State women, and they could be fucking done week 2, and it's all your dreams are crashed and burned week 2. It's depressing. Next up, we got Texas A&M at Miami. This is Texas A&M minus 4.5. Yes, please. I'll take Texas A&M. I don't believe in Miami at all. What do you do in this one?
Yeah, they didn't look all that great, to be honest.
They sure did not.
So, I don't know.
I think, here's another prediction. I think Texas A&M fans will probably have more fans in the stadium than Miami fans.
It's possible, yeah. We haven't seen them play a real team yet either, but they looked pretty good last week.
Look, I'll give them they win by a touchdown against Miami. Weather's the weather. Same as, look, it's hotter in Texas than it is Miami, so it's not like that's going to be a fucking factor down there. But yeah, give me A&M in this one. I'm good to go at minus 4.5 on A&M. Next up, we got Tulsa against Washington, the Huskies. Minus 34 for the Huskies. Yeesh. What do you want to do here?
I'm not. 34 points is a lot.
Too much.
I think they cover.
Probably.
Probably.
Washington probably scores 60 points in this game,
easily,
to be honest.
Yep.
But, who the fuck knows?
And I think they want Penix to go for the Heisman Trophy. I think it's good for the school.
Well, he's definitely got to stack numbers right here.
Sure does.
If he's going to do it.
Sure does. So they could absolutely do it. Anything in the high 30s, though, I can't get behind, because if you get up by 40 points at halftime, you could bench all your players and all that other shit. But Washington definitely wins. The over-under is 65 in this game. It might be 100. Like, who fucking knows? Yeah, anything in the mid-30s, I typically try to avoid. Do you guys bet shit like this in real life, like in the high 30s?
I don't typically, but if I was ever going to bet one,
It'd be something like this. Yeah.
Would it really?
I would also really look into, they're probably not up yet, but Penix props.
Okay.
What's it, like passing yards, passing touchdowns?
Probably 400, 5 TDs again, something like that. It'll be big, whatever it is. The numbers will be gross. Next up, we got Austin Peay against Tennessee. Be on you. They got no spread on this game because that's not a real team, friend. Not a real team. Next up, we got Appalachian State against North Carolina. UNC minus 18. App State's always good for a battle somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And is this it? Is this the battle that they end up fighting?
It's not usually early in the season. Usually it's like mid to late season they pick somebody off. So I don't think so. I think Drake May is probably going to have a better performance here than he did last week. Frankly, he didn't look all that great, in my opinion, last week.
2022, if you remember, they played week 1, and they had that crazy fourth quarter where I think App State put up 40 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And North Carolina had to put up 22 of their own just to win the game 63-61.
It was a wild game. Never forget. Hashtag never forget. I think everything went into opening week against South Carolina. Game day was there. All the fun stuff was there. I think this might be a letdown week. I'm going to take the 18 and take App State on this one, and they're due for it. Although their defense looked pretty good. North Carolina's defense looked good in that game. We'll see. But I'm going to throw give me the 18 and I'll go App State. Next up, we got SMU against Oklahoma. SMU didn't do the deal with the ACC, by the way. And I'm not sure what. No, I think they backed out, and Army is trying to get in that spot right now. And I'm not sure what happened in those talks last week that broke down for SMU.
No, they're in the ACC.
Yeah, as of 7 hours ago, why were they so eager to deal the ACC?
I know SMU was, but I heard a rumor that Army was trying to take that spot and get in there.
They're in it already.
Yeah, they're in.
In the ACC?
Yes, yeah.
SMU is currently?
Yeah.
No, not this
no,
year,
but
they have secured their place in the ACC.
Yeah.
Okay.
By taking like the biggest dog shit deal ever where they get no media rights
For
for
7
years.
years.
They essentially bought their way in, which is extremely on brand for that university.
Gross, dude. All right. What's the Army sitch then? How are they trying to fucking backdoor in the ACC? That one's weird to me. Look it up. Either way, SMU is playing Oklahoma this week. It is minus 15.5 at Oklahoma. Who you got, D'Anthony?
Oklahoma's offense looks pretty good.
They don't look bad.
No.
Dylan Gabriel looked all right last week. They didn't really have to do a lot, though, either.
No. I mean, I don't think they're going to have to do all that much against SMU either.
Me neither.
15 and I'll take 15.5.
Yeah, same. I'll take Oklahoma minus the 15.5 there.
I'm sprinkling the SMU money line.
Gross. Are you really?
And I love the over.
You think they're going to be SMU is going to beat Oklahoma outright?
I don't buy Brent Venables. I don't care.
I don't either. For the long term, I don't either. But against SMU, yes, I buy it against SMU.
Either way, over. Over's going.
It's 68.5. That's big. That's big boy over.
This is going over. SMU top 25 offense. Oklahoma a top 5 offense.
Okay.
Book it. I mean, you can look at Oklahoma week 1 and they shut out whatever dog shit team, the Arkansas State, whatever. They're not going to shut out
That's
SMU.
a 35-34 game. So, any combination, obviously.
SMU's not stopping
SMU's
Oklahoma.
not stopping
They're
them.
not stopping Oklahoma, but I don't know if SMU scores against.
SMU is good for 28.
Okay. Hey, you heard it from Bob. I am only taking the minus 15.5, though. Next up, we got Lafayette against Duke. There is no spread on this game because it's Lafayette. I don't even know what fucking state that's in. I couldn't even throw a dart on a map and try to find it.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably somewhere in the Northeast if it's named after General Lafayette.
I know. Now's the game of the week. This is the game we will be at. Texas at Alabama. This spread is hiked up since last week, 0.5 point. This is Alabama minus 7. Who you got, D'Anthony?
Alabama.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and walk back everything I've said the last 3 weeks about Texas on this show. And I'm going to take Alabama as well. I'm going to buy 0.5 point just to feel safer about it and more secure because I will be in the stadium in the front row there. And I just need my personal safety belt. But I'm going to apologize to the audience, all the Longhorn fans. I got your hopes up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then I saw your line against Rice. And I am completely reversing course, walking all of this back. Alabama's defense is going to win this fucking game, and I am all in on Alabama at minus 6.5. and I walk that back because a grown-up does that. A grown-up admits when he's wrong. And I'm a grown-up here, and I've got Alabama. Since we'll be there, Delco, you'll probably have money on this game. Who do you got?
Oh, Alabama all day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're my national champions.
Yep.
Milroe looked good last week. Defense is humming right now. They're going to be all over yours.
Bama's defense is nasty, dude. Bob, you going Bama as well?
Yeah, and Bama's at their most dangerous when they do not start the season number 1.
And they definitely didn't, man.
And look, dude, like I understand everybody wants Texas to be back all the time, but they never will be.
I know.
Things are only going to get worse.
I know. That's why I'm walking it back. Look, I want you guys to win money. I
think Texas sometime in the next 10 years will probably win a title, frankly.
When they get Urban Meyer.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be whenever they get a good recruiter in who's willing to play ball. Like, Dabo is suffering for trying to play this righteous game where he's not going to play the NIL shit or the transfer portal shit. And then Dion does it all. You play the game with the rules that are provided to you if you want to win, right? Fucking, we don't do that. Okay, cool. Well, enjoy fucking not being in the top 25, Clemson.
Yeah.
Maybe
You fucking dum-dums.
Maybe Dabo was a man of his word, right? He said he would quit college football if players got paid. Maybe he quiet quit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
he did.
He's
maybe
phoning it
quite
in.
quick, yeah. And maybe in 2 years, Deion's going hook him after Shador gets out of there.
He's not going to fucking Texas.
I would have said Florida State. I've said Florida State all along, but if they keep winning, there's nothing you
Norvell's
can
got
do.
that on
I know.
That job is not open.
And he knows it, and I think that's why I guarantee you Norvell is watching these Colorado games going, God damn it, dude. We've got to keep winning so I can keep my fucking job. Because everybody in the world wants Deion Sanders right now.
Well, we'll see. They want him after one game. And
we'll see. I've got him beat Nebraska this week, so we'll see. But Alabama, I'm walking that back from 2 weeks ago, so I apologize. I want to win money. I want you to win money. Alabama -6.5. I'm taking Alabama in this game. Next up, we got Oregon against Texas Tech.
Don't understand this line.
Me neither.
Like, I think Oregon's going to beat them by like 20 points, probably.
It's -6.5 for Oregon here.
Who did Tech lose to last week?
Wyoming. Now, spooky place.
Yeah, it is, but fuck, man, come on.
And Lubbock's a spooky place too, but I think you're benefiting from Vegas overreacting to its spookiness this week.
I do too.
I agree with that.
A lot of
I'm
people are
taking
high on
Oregon.
Tech this year. I wouldn't put any stock into that loss to Wyoming. I think they'll still be pretty solid. But yeah, Oregon should beat them by
They'll be a solid team. Yeah, they're not going to get beat by like 60 or anything, but I think it's a 2 or 3 score game. Oregon's way better than Texas Tech.
Yeah.
No matter what fucking stadium they're playing.
It's a real goddamn shame that this is the Pac-12's last year because the Pac-12
Never better.
This is the best they've been in forever.
The Pac-12
as a full unit. This is probably the best they've been in
They're
a
the
long time.
second best conference in football this year.
They are.
Oh, that's by far
easily.
because
And they might not get a team in because they're going to beat each other.
the Big
up.
Ten's got Penn State, Ohio State. I don't know if Wisconsin plays up
Yeah.
to their potential this year. Maybe it's
I'd still take
1A, 1B,
I
but-
would still take the Pac-12. They got nothing but quarterbacks. They got nothing but studs.
It is the best quarterback conference in the country this year.
I don't think
if
they're
you-
going to do anything in the NFL.
Probably not. But if you can if there's a bet out there of which conference the Heisman's going to come from, I would definitely take.
You don't think Caleb
Pac-12.
Williams is going to do anything?
Yes, I like Caleb Williams. Forgive me. I always forget that he's there.
I said he wouldn't if he's a Cardinal, but
Yeah.
he came out today and said, I might come back to USC depending on who's in that number one
Well, that's what
slot.
his dad was
I
saying.
would
right?
if you're Bryce Young or CJ Stroud from last year. Like I honest to God, man, because CJ Stroud, it came down to the nth hour of looking at the NIL money versus what his rookie deal was going to be, and it was real goddamn close. At what point does USC even offer that type of money and be like, hey, dude, come back and save yourself from Arizona Cardinals because you don't want to play there next year?
I mean,
There's going to be a kid that does it. I just don't know who it's going to be.
They may not have to offer him anything to stay. Because his dad did a presser yesterday, and he's like, yeah, if it lines up in such a way that we don't like who's got that first pick, we'll just stay at college.
I
don't blame him.
I don't either. And I know CJ Stroud took it down to the buzzer for that exact reason too. Of like, do you want to go get killed?
Yeah.
And he might get killed down in Texas. I don't know.
There's not one prayer I would if it's my kid, I'm not letting him go to the Arizona Cardinals under any
No, he dies.
circumstances.
He
Yeah.
dies there. He dies there. But I've got Oregon. We got Oregon here. Grambling against LSU is next. HBCU against LSU. So LSU, it's Brian Kelly. They could lose this game. Who knows?
Grambling by 20.
Grambling by 80 in this game. Who knows? Who cares? Your season's over. It doesn't really matter. Next up, we get Wisconsin. Wisconsin against Washington State.
This is one of the more interesting games of the week.
Sure
to me.
is.
They
dude.
lost this game last year.
Yeah.
They did.
At
And
home.
Yep.
Washington State fucking chuck and duck, man. They're putting the ball out there.
Why not?
They're trying to score. So Wisconsin typically known for a pretty good defense, but you're going to have to stay on schedule offensively to win this game.
No
Luckily,
shit.
their run game at Wisconsin, as usual, right?
Yeah.
But it's fucking good, man.
It is. And they're kind of figuring it out there. Wisconsin -6 in this.
Also, revenge game for Washington State because this is the conference that killed their conference.
Yep.
This is the Big Ten.
Yes, but this put them out of business. This is a night game too up there. This is a tough one to bet on. I'm going to take Wisconsin -6.
Same, yeah.
But this one could come back to haunt me. I don't think I go big on this.
I don't know.
I go a light hundo on this.
They had Wisconsin. Their top two backs had 157 and 141 yards, respectively, each with 2 touchdowns last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tanner Mordecai did not look great.
No.
He threw some errant passes. You don't want your fucking quarterback turning the ball over against shitty teams. But yeah, it's
The other thing to watch out for is when you have a team like Washington State that chucks it every fucking down and they just don't care.
Yeah.
It's hard to get used to. Where you're like, all right, well, shit.
Ward slings it. I hate this game for Wisconsin. This is a
I do too, man. It's a light hundo on this, and this is a fucking heat check for my love of Wisconsin this year because I put them in the Big Ten championship this year, so I've got to take it.
The over is baiting me though.
Sprinkle
59.
the Cougar money line.
It could happen for sure. Like that one, I'm not going to shoot down at all. But my love for Wisconsin and my prediction preseason that they would be in the Big Ten championship, I'm going to take Wisconsin. That's -6. Next up, you got FSU -31 against Southern Miss.
100%.
Yeah.
Florida State 31. I don't like
easily.
making the bet, but they'll do it.
So I don't do mid to high 30s. 31 is just enough for me to dip my dick into. And after watching them in person, they're only going to get better.
There's no way if they pushed LSU's line, offensive and defensive line around like that, Southern Miss is going to get buried.
Yeah.
How many yards does Frank Gore Jr. go for?
Yeah.
Let the dad play. Bring Frank back and let him see what he can do. But yeah, I'm taking FSU in this one, -31. Next up, we got UC Davis against Oregon State. There's no line in this because UC Davis isn't a real school.
But they do pepper spray the fuck out of protesters there.
Sure do.
Remember that guy, that fat security guard?
Oh, yeah.
He was just like casual, just painting people's faces
Done.
orange. It was. I lived in Oakland at the time, and I laughed so hard at that. All my friends they're all fucking liberal hippies, and I'm laughing my ass off. They're like, well, it's not funny. I'm like, it's kind of funny.
It's really funny.
Come on now.
It's great. Last game here of the weekend is, they're putting this on Fox. No shit. They're looking for Fox. I don't mind them putting late games on like this at 10:30 at night. I just don't want to see a fucking noon game on Fox, all right? God damn, dude. The 10:30 games are great. I'll give you that. Don't put a fucking noon game on. Stanford at USC. Stanford is pretty much given up on life. This is USC -29. God damn, if you're USC right now, this is your third game. They've played more than anybody else because they started early here in week 0, them along with Notre Dame. Do they care enough for 29?
Well, I think Caleb Williams is.
He does.
He's hunting the Heisman for sure. So this is a good game to put up big numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, look, it is on Fox, so the voters will get to see it. They probably cover this. I don't bet it in real life though, but
same.
it'll be on in the background at nights while you're eating Waffle House, and that's kind of it. Now, in the meantime, we will be at Alabama versus Texas. Come and join us live from Rama Jamma at noon on Saturday, right across from the stadium. And we will be at Corks and Tops at 4:30 p.m. there for a little tasting sesh. If you're on campus as well on Friday, join us there. In the meantime, go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the College Football Week 2 Prediction Show. Week 3? 2. The one was Week 0. This is 2. Good night, everybody.